23-year-old twin boys, okay? And my partner and I, we were so focused on them graduating, we forgot what happened right after. Is those fuckers moved back in with you, and you have two crappy roommates again. Oh my God, boomerang my ass, you know what I mean? My partner Susan is here, actually. She and I have been together for 32 years. She was my 5th grade teacher. She fucking hates that joke. Great teacher. But, you know, we're a little bit of an odd couple because Susan is a full-on white. She is totally white. I myself am Asian, at least, you know, half. I was born in Japan. And, you know, but the thing about it is it did work out between the two of us because Susan is what we used to call in the gay community a rice queen. Remember that? You remember that? We used to have problematic names for shit too, you guys. She has a little bit of an Asian fetish, okay? But if I'm being honest, I have a teensy bit of a colonizer kink, so it worked out between the two of us, you know, little John Smith Pocahontas action. I'm sorry. I won't go into that. But anyway, so we have 23-year-old twin boys, and last summer they both graduated from college. Yay! Now, one of them graduated cum laude, which means with honors, and the other one graduated al dente, which means by the skin of his goddamn teeth. All right? And then they moved back in with us. Like, oh my God, it's time to launch, you know? And I would just like to take a moment to call bullshit on the whole male loneliness epidemic. I hear you young guys aren't fucking. I know a couple of males I wish were a lot more lonely, okay? Well, first of all, I have a confession to make. I did produce 2 straight, heterosexual males. I'm not a perfect parent, okay? I took them to all the drag story times. It didn't take. I even tried to get them to watch Heated Rivalry. I told them it was the NHL playoffs. Kind of backfired, you know? I mean, honestly, as a lesbian, I'm one of those lesbians, it did get me kind of going. I'm like, what is happening right now? I thought, maybe I want a dick. Like, I don't want one in me, but I might like to have one. And then I remembered, what am I talking about? I got a whole bag of them under the bed. I am somebody's mother. Okay, we've established that. But anyway, so like, there are so many random girls' cars in our driveway. It looks like the goddamn In-N-Out drive-thru, okay? Like the other day, it's the first thing in the morning, I'm enjoying that cup of coffee, watching cable news, also known as the season finale of America, and I noticed something in my peripheral vision, this like blonde sneaking out of my living room. Like she does not even say hello, you know, like some kind of trash panda or possum in your backyard. She goes out the front door. And my son had brought some rando home the night before. Gross, right? I'm like, all right, that's gonna happen. I leave the house, I do my day, I come back home, you guys, darling pair of boots in the front entryway, too small for me, too femme for my partner, second rando my son brought home in 24 hours. Second, okay? You guys, I would never slut shame a woman. My son, however, is a whore. He is a himbo. I got no control over that one. My other son, he is a bit of a steady Eddie. He has a steady girlfriend. Her name is Megan. And Megan likes coming over to our house. She was over last night and all of the other nights, okay? bitch is getting her Amazon packages at our house. It's a little out of control, right? So the other day, they got into a little argument down the hall, and my son did not want his moms overhearing them having a tiff. So my son said to his girlfriend, incidentally, I did not raise him that way, said to his girlfriend, shh. And I thought, oh my God, this is gonna be good. And you guys, the very next thing I hear is, you shut the fuck up! I'm like, oh my God, I think she's a keeper. I think that is daughter-in-law material, you know? I'm telling you. And then the other thing that is like so annoying is the level of fuckery that I have to put up with. In my house now is so crazy. Like my son went out for a little dinner with some friends for his friend's birthday, and he came home and he goes, Mom, I had the best sandwich. And I'm like, oh, tell me more. I love a good sandwich. I want to hear all about it. And he goes, it was a sandwich place. It was on Ventura Boulevard in Studio City. And it was called Jihad. I'm like, son, what is your level of confidence on the name of that restaurant? You're telling me in the whitest, the bougiest part of the San Fernando Valley, there is a sandwich shop named Jihad. I'm like, is it next to the ISIS Cafe and Mujahideen wine bar? In his defense, he has dyslexia, and I am an asshole. So that explains a lot of it. You know, and then my other son, the other day, an unhoused woman sort of came into our yard, and she grabbed our garden hose, and she was like spraying the driveway and spraying the cars, and my son came home late from work and found her and asked her to leave. So he marches into the house, and he comes in and he reports what happened, and he looks at me like, what are you going to do about it? And I just looked at him and I said, you know, I think I'm going to give her your cell phone and start paying for her car insurance, because I cannot remember the last time you hosed off the driveway or washed either one of the cars. Okay? And finally, like, the last thing they're doing is they started stealing my socks. Like, I used to only buy black and white socks, okay? And, like, this wouldn't be a huge problem, except for my son is a size 14 shoe. Maybe that's why he's so popular with the girls. I don't like to think about it, okay? But the problem is, when I get the socks back, they literally look like used condoms. You know? So I had to go out and buy the gayest socks that I could find. I can't get my leg up there, but anyway, I can no longer buy black and white socks. It's like serious, you know? And, you know, what's really funny is I have other lesbian mom friends with sons. And like my one friend's son, Henry, he just got into Cal. And he's a freshman. And he's had 3 girlfriends and 1 stalker. And if I'm not mistaken, a chlamydia scare, okay? And that's kind of a flex for a freshman. Everybody is always talking about how they're worried about the children of, you know, gay parents. You know, my kids are literally drowning in pussy, okay? I don't think you guys have to worry about our kids, okay? I mean, I actually have a little radical idea. I think we might be better at raising the straight ones than you guys are. You got a kid, you want them to like play football, just hand them over a couple dykes and we will take it. I don't know. I've been hearing about like all the Epstein files stuff, and it's like kind of pollution in my brain. Like I kind of really don't want to hear about it, but I did hear something that I found slightly amusant, so to speak. The internet is saying that apparently Ellen DeGeneres is one of the most prolific cannibals around, and that was revealed in the Epstein files. You guys, I just want to explain something to anybody here who's heterosexual. Just because we eat pussy, it does not make us cannibals, all right? Like, it's more of a nosh or a nibble or an amuse bush. That is the fucking stupidest joke I ever read. You were gonna do it, you know? Listen, Ellen DeGeneres is our Army Hammer. Representation matters, you guys. And then, like, it's so fun, like, being an older comic. Like, the other day, I did a queer show, you know, and the producer was a lesbian. And Gen Z, you know, and so she asked me after the show, she said, Mary, would you like to come on a walk with me sometime? And I was like, sure, that sounds great. I was really excited because I thought, somebody Gen Z thinks I'm cool enough to get to know. And I know what some of you are thinking, listen, I look like a microwaved frog naked, okay? So there was no May, December bullshit going on, all right? It wasn't that kind of, like, walking date or whatever. So we get to the park and we go around twice and we have the best conversation, like we're talking about our queer journey and our comedy goals and what we have been through and all kinds of stuff. And it's just like super great. And at the end, we like sit down on a bench and she just looks at me in the eye very sincerely and she goes, you know, Mary, I just want to thank you because I've been meaning to be friends with an elder lesbian. Bitch, what did you just say? What do you want me to do? Teach you how to fashion a steam-powered vibrator? How to whittle a dildo? I am a crossword puzzle lesbian. I am not a handy lesbian, okay? Jesus Christ. Like the nerve, you know? And I don't know if you're familiar, there's this comic named Robbie Hoffman. She's one of my favorites. I'm obsessed with her. I can't believe she does. But anyway, I don't know if you're aware, but Robbie Hoffman recently married a woman named Gabby Windey, who used to be the ABC Bachelorette, okay? Incidentally, our Convert a Hetero campaign going gangbusters, you guys. I think a recent salvo was, I don't know if you guys saw that RFK Jr. and Kid Rock video. Like, if you weren't gay before you saw that, you were certainly gay after, you know? Like, what is going on with RFK Jr.'s legs? Why is he wearing jeans in a cold plunge? Is he like Lieutenant Dan from, you know, Forrest Gump? Does he not have legs? Anyway, I'm sorry, that was like a distraction. But anyway, so like, you know, so yeah, so Robbie Hoffman, so she has a new special out, and then she said that she thinks in order to have a successful couple, you need one hot one and one smart one. Now, Susan and I have been together for over 3 decades. We are neither one of those things. I sincerely believe that in order to have a successful relationship, you need one nice one and one cunt. That would be me. So you probably can't tell by looking at me, but I am a lady who has had 2 dicks that are at the same time. For 9 months. Do not recommend it, 0 stars.